All right, Dora. Thank you so much again for today. And how shall we start? Do you want to tell us a few words about yourself?
My name is Dora Andrejszki. I am Hungarian and I am actually from Budapest. I was born and raised there. I currently live in Munich just for the past few months. I started playing paddle competitively, I would say, just about 3 years ago. And yeah, I played my first FIP tournaments 2 years ago. And this is my first year when I'm only focusing on paddle. So now I'm full time. I quit my office job at the end of last year, and it's a very nice journey. I'm really enjoying it. It has its ups and downs, but I can't complain because being an athlete is the best profession that I can have. Uh, I come from a 20-year long tennis background. I started playing tennis when I was 29. Sorry, no, when I was 9, and I played all the way through until I was 29, and I was very fortunate to play college tennis in the U.S. I played Division two, 2 years in Savannah, Georgia, and then I transferred to a school in the suburbs of Chicago in Illinois, and finished my bachelor and my master's at Lewis University. And then basically, I moved back to Hungary in 2020. And that was the first year when I learned about what paddle is. I think they had one paddle club at that time in Hungary with a couple
Which one?
courts.
Premier?
I believe, yes, it was a premier club. Well, they were the first ones to start. We're very fortunate now that there are a lot of courts being built. And yeah, whenever I go home, I normally train and do some lessons at BVSC Padel Club because that's where I'm signed, and yeah, that's my club. It's closest to my home, and I share a very good relationship with the club manager,
Who? Christina?
with Christina. Yes,
I love her. We're in Mexico, as far as I know,
yes.
and semifinal. And as far as I know, you were not very happy with the result, or you had higher expectations, or what was it?
Yeah, I normally have high expectations with myself. It's not a new thing. Um, yes, it was a FIP silver tournament in Aguascalientes, Mexico. I played there last year, so the environment was very similar, and I already knew the tournament referee and the players manager. So it was quite nice to return to a place pretty far away. Um, and it was, yes, it was a coincidence that I played there because I wasn't supposed to fly to Mexico. And it was a week when there was a premier major and many other tournaments running the same week. And there's a rule with FIP and premier that you can play two tournaments in the same week as long as one is premier and the other one is FIP, but you must play with the same partner, which I didn't know. And I was signed in for the premier tournament with Rosalie van der Hoek from the Netherlands, but I wasn't supposed to play the FIP tournament with her. And yeah, she was signed for Mexico. She already had her ticket. And then we found out that we must play together. So when we found out, I bought a ticket to Mexico. Long story short, yes,
That's a funny
because otherwise, if we're signed with different partners, then we are kicked out from both tournaments.
story.
Yes, yes. So when you break the rules, there's consequences. And anyway, it was not a very strong silver tournament, I must say. And definitely we had a good chance to possibly win the tournament. And yes, well, it would have been difficult because there were a couple very strong pairs, but in my opinion, anytime when we enter a tournament, we must think about winning the actual tournament. Like, we're not going to win a couple of rounds. We're not going to play against easy opponents. We're going there to compete and potentially win. And I think it was a chance to win, but it didn't happen this time, which is okay. I just really thought that it was possible. And saying goodbye in the semifinals was not satisfying for me because we only played 2 matches. And one of the nicer things about these tournaments is that the more matches you play, obviously the further you are, but you learn something about yourself and your partner in every single match. And Rosie and I played a few matches together already. So I thought it was a nice opportunity because we already knew quite a bit of each other and about our team, but it was not meant to be.
It's all right. I think, as you say, you learn. You never lose.
Yeah. And I would say padel is kind of a sport in general where you have a lifetime to learn. It's just, there's so many things, and then the tactics change based on the adaptation of the players to certain situations. And it's a very interesting sport. For me, it's kind of like a spider web, how the ball can possibly move on the court and the glasses and the fence. So it's quite endless for all the learnings.
Let's talk about your current ranking and your targets. So
Okay.
as far as I know, you are just outside the top 100, I guess.
Yes, it is 118. I had this ranking before, and then I was pushed back a little bit, and now I'm at this ranking again. It's definitely something that I must cherish, that I need to be happy about, because I was last year during the summer, I was outside of the 200. And this year, at the beginning of the year, I was around 160. And the tour is becoming more and more competitive every day. There's a lot of new girls coming in with the same enthusiasm as I have. Everybody's finding their way to train in Spain. And there's a lot of wanting. So it's not easy. You must go step by step. But I must say that between 105 and like 130, our points are very close. So I could be like 15 spots back, but I could also be 15 spots higher. So in this range, it's easy to move up and down each week. And that's actually something that I set it as a goal for myself, to not check the ranking every week, because it makes no difference if I'm 117 or if I'm 118. Obviously, I would like to be as high as possible, and potentially be within the top 100 at the end of the year. Well, everybody in my position wants to do that. So it's a really open race. But I'm in general, I'm happy with my level, and I'm happy with how this year has been going on.
And what do you think in a Spanish dominated sport, especially top 50, top 60, there are so many Spanish players. How possible is it to be in the top 50 for a non-Spanish?
I think it's very possible. I think it's very possible, because I think the Spanish players are now realizing that they cannot relax. Like, it's not granted anymore that they are always the best. And yeah, I mean, from what I see from other nations, there are a lot of really, really tough girls. who are sacrificing everything, like myself, to really do something for the first time for their country. And I think it's really inspiring. And there are quite a few of us from Europe, from many different countries, who are like trying to do the same thing. And some of us, I'm very sure, will succeed. And the thing with the Spanish players is that, of course, it's quite a nice advantage to live here and to be socialized here, because I also think paddle is kind of like a lifestyle. Those who come from tennis, especially from the Eastern European countries, I mean, it's kind of in our blood to be really tough and kind of to be punished for mistakes, so that at the end you stop missing. And paddle is a very, very different thing from this. It's more about the opportunity that you can have rather than like something that you can miss. I'm not really sure if I'm explaining it the right way,
I
but
understood.
but what I realize, the higher the level gets, the less mistakes you can make, obviously. But
Mhm.
it's more like this tranquila mindset, that you have to hit another and another and another, and you're not going for the winner. Just wait, and if you don't win the point, okay, you go for the next one. And I think this is a big advantage of the Spaniards, and there are a lot of Argentinian players in Spain as well. So this we can only adapt to if we spend a lot of time here. I'm saying it because I'm in Madrid at the moment.
Really? Oh,
And yeah, I think it's very possible that soon non-Spaniards will break into the top 50. I mean, we already have, I think there's a couple French girls, and actually, I'm not really sure if we have any other. Rather, well, we have Portuguese, obviously. So it's nice. But now in the top 100, we have Dutch, we have British, we
yes.
have German. So it's becoming more colorful, and I really enjoy seeing these girls like going through. And I hope I'm one of the next ones.
I'm sure you will. So you were saying that this maybe Eastern European or like ex-tennis player mentality, where you are not comfortable with missing the like shots or making mistakes. But Spanish players or Argentinian players are more calm, more okay with that. Uh, Personally, for you, would it hurt more if you couldn't finish the point and miss the point, or make an unforced error by trying to push it?
That's an interesting question.
I know it
um,
just came to my mind and I wanted to ask. I wasn't prepared for it either.
the very first time I played a match where I I didn't have a lot of unforced errors, and it was more like playing long points. It was just about a year ago. And I came off the court. We lost a very tough match. And I came off the court and I looked at my partner, and we said, oh my God, we played terrible. We played against the first seeded couple who were quite highly ranked. And then we rewatched the match because it was on video. And we looked at each other and we said, oh my God, we played so well. So it's something that um, I'm getting more and more comfortable with. Uh, but the thing is that it's difficult to think about not missing, because you have to think about making more balls than your opponent. which is the same thing, but one is more in a positive mindset and the other one is more in a negative mindset. So you need to find good targets. You need to understand which player you must be putting more pressure on. You need to understand, yeah, maybe you didn't miss the lob, but you put it in the worst place possible because it's the best touch of your opponent. So it's really a mind game. And the fact that you have the opportunity for coaching in paddle is excellent. You need it. It's a team sport, just like volleyball and basketball and football. And you really need that coach on the side because it's extremely difficult and very energy draining to be a player and found out the strategy going from match to match. It's a privilege to have the coach on the bench and talk to the coach every changeover. Obviously, if you don't have one, it's still manageable, but really depends on the level. The higher the level, the more crucial it is to have somebody on the sideline with you.
And so it's allowed to have a coach on the side.
Yes.
Unlike
yes.
tennis.
Yes, correct.
That's interesting. I didn't know about that. And do you ever have a coach on the side, or you're mostly?
Yes, most of the time I would say I rely on myself. It depends on who my partner is, which country we play in, because every now and then we get lucky because, let's say, one coach that I'm familiar with is coming to the same tournament with another player. But if they have the time and the matches are not conflicting, then a lot of times I get helped out, which is super nice. So most FIP tournaments that I play, I have to play them without a coach. But then when I finally have a coach on the bench, then it makes a big difference that I need to be just a player.
How do you feel about your focus level during the matches? Like, are you a focused person, or like during the match, or are there a lot of moments where you realize that you're losing the present moment feeling? How is it?
It's a learning progress.
Oh.
Yes. A lot of times when I'm too concerned about winning, then it takes my focus away from winning, but how. And then if I play, for example, against supposedly much better players, then I'm more focused on doing what I can, not trying to overdo myself. And if it's going to result with winning the match, that's amazing. But I think the second one, this last one, what I just said, should apply to all of the matches. And I think for me to be focused, the first thing is to feel comfortable on the court, to get used to the speed of the court, the surroundings of the court, if it's outdoor or indoor. Obviously, I'm not going to play with a player who I'm not comfortable with. So, but sometimes if I play with somebody for the first time, it's kind of like a surprise whether it's going to work out or not. So, so far I've been very, very fortunate with the players that I've been paired up with. And yeah, I mean that it's really crazy how fast the momentum can change in paddle. Like this, like it changes in tennis as well quite quickly, but in paddle I find it a lot more crazy.
True.
And when the momentum is with your opponent, it's very difficult to stick to the basics and make them miss. And it's I have to say, some matches I can really control it, but some matches it just doesn't come to my mind. and I'm hoping that maybe my partner will then bounce me out of it. No, it's true.
Uh-huh.
And I think in general, when I'm observing a match from the outside, I'm pretty good with recognizing what the players do on the court and what could potentially work against them, or which shot I shouldn't make them hit. But it's a lot more difficult to recognize when you're on court. This is why I said it's really nice to have a coach, because the coach can tell me after 1, 2, 3 games that, okay, they're winning the points a lot of times hitting this shot. Don't hit the ball there. Hit the ball the other way. So yeah, it's a very interesting sport. It's a very interesting sport, and the fact that it's doubles, in my opinion, it's much better. When I competed in tennis, I really preferred playing doubles over singles.
Mhm.
So this part I carry with me into paddle.
Sometimes, as a mental performance coach myself in paddle, I try to use some of the like small breath work exercises during changeovers or during the
Mm-hmm.
in the points. Sometimes I tell my partner to slow down because he's usually like he doesn't even breathe between points, and I try to be that person. How do you feel? You are like, uh, are you very vocal and communicative in the field during the match with your partner? Do you celebrate points? When you lose a point, do you feel very upset, and are you angry, mad at yourself, even loudly? Because I know lots of tennis players, they immediately start like um, telling their own name, like angry at themselves in the third person, this kind of things. How are you in that sense as an ex-tennis player? Uh, because tennis players are more rough, as you say, like doing mistake is hard for tennis players, not like padel players. That's the biggest difference that I see between padel players and tennis players. So what do you think?
Um, well, going back to the first part of your question, yes, I celebrate. I'm quite loud. I like to cheer my partner on constantly. In general, I think my body language has changed a lot in a very positive way. A lot of times when, let's say, there's a call that may not be in our favor, or if we have a nastier opponent, or there's some discussion happening, or I make a mistake that was, let's say, a clear winner, or just something that kind of makes me feel uncomfortable on court. Now I try to smile through it. And it really works. It really works. And then it's like paid back. When I can stay calm in those situations and I just take a deep breath and I smile, and I mean, I fake a smile, obviously, because I'm definitely not happy.
But
It
that's the,
really,
that's the good thing. Your brain doesn't tell between a fake or real smile, so you get almost the same reaction. Seriously,
yeah, I
it's
mean,
human.
I'm not saying that it's perfect. I'm not saying that I always do it, but it's something I've been really working on. And I know that when I can stay in that calm mindset, then I can regain my focus and I can regain my confidence to then go for the same shot again, because that's the right shot to go for, even if I made a mistake. Um, I think I'm one of the more talkative players from the players that I know. Um,
Okay.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I mean, I don't mind getting feedback. For example, my Dutch partner, Rosie, she's not a big talker. I am. like this happy, fluffy ball next to her bouncing around. But sometimes it's not what she needs. And then she tells me like, okay, now I need some time on my own. Perfect. Now I give you your time. And it's very important that you have that kind of relationship with your partner to tell them, because otherwise they're just going to frustrate you. And then you cannot play together as a team. Like, we're there together to try to win. It's not gonna be just one person winning the match. So it's important to give each other feedback for sure, and not get pissed off about it, but rather change in a way that then you can support your partner like that.
Do you think that
Um,
the US part, like studying in US, gave you this feeling a lot more, like communicating better?
I think in general, I'm a happy person, and I'm a very flexible person. So of course, I have my own things when I like to do my own routine, where I like to, I don't know, just a few things that I stick to. But I think I'm a very flexible person. So if I have a new coach, if I have a new academy where I train, if I have to travel 6 weeks in a row, I get comfortable very easily. And I'm not necessarily a person to complain about these things. So of course I have my rough days. It's not like I'm 24/7 positive, but I'm really trying to stay positive. I recently had a rough second half of the summer, and I had a few days when I was quite down. Um, So it was not easy to get out of it. But at the end of the day, I think I have a very privileged life, and I'm doing what I love the most, which is competing. So, yeah, the positive attitude and thinking about good things coming is very important. And I don't think I developed this when I was in the US. I mean, it's very similar. It's a very similar experience because paddle is an individual sport. We play together as a team, but the teams always split and there's new teams forming, and it's an individual ranking. So everybody's basically playing for themselves. And it's quite similar in college tennis. It's a very individual sport, tennis, especially singles. You play some doubles matches as well, which are important. And then you count your score together. And but there's a lot of fighting and a lot of competition in between the team, who's going to play first, who's going to play second, blah blah blah. Even though all the spots of the lineup, they bring the same amount of points, so it's not like you can earn more points for the team if you are number one. And it's very interesting because it's a similar dynamics in paddle. And I think in college, for the most part, I was being a good teammate. I definitely had some poor decisions. I have always been sort of a leader personality, and I'm not proud of all the decisions I made as a leader or team captain or something like that. But at the end of the day, we can only win together. And if my partner is losing or I'm losing, then we will lose the match together. Or if one of us can bring the other one forward and we can somehow manage to win, then we win together. It's never about just one person.
That's true. Why do you think teams get formed and split rather quickly in paddle?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I see it on the pro level as well. the more successful teams, they are sticking together for a longer time.
Because there's
yeah, there is chemistry. It's super important, and it's important that you feel comfortable with the other player off court as well. And I think there's a lot of influence coming from coaches and sponsors. So yeah, I mean, you bull pedal teams together, boy short teams together, bubble out teams together. You can see Knox teams together. So it can potentially come from the brand. It can potentially come from your coach. Maybe you train at the same academy. Yeah, maybe you have the same sponsor. So that could be an influence to first try to form that team and then see if it makes if it happens. And a lot of times the teams stick together. For example, I don't know, like Victoria Iglesias and Marina Guinar, they played together the whole season. Their team Knox. And they recently split, but I think they only split because their goal was to be in the top 8 teams at the end of the year and potentially play the finals in Barcelona. Maybe right now they realize that if they stay together, it's probably not going to happen. So now they split and see if at least one of them can make it, or maybe they split because it's better for them to not play together at the moment, and then maybe they try another season together. So I think there's a lot of behind the scenes that influence the players to then change partners.
Too many factors.
Yes.
I see. And how is your training routine usually? Are you a hardworking, ambitious person who is like very disciplined and good with her nutrition, sleep, like time management? How do you rate yourself in that sense?
How do I rate myself in knowing what's good for me, or how do I rate myself in what I'm actually doing?
Second one, unfortunately.
I would say first one, 10 out of 10. Second one, it kind of depends. When I'm in Spain, everything is perfect. It's like when I'm here, I always jump into a program and there's set times for the trainings. Then I know exactly like what time I need to go to bed. When I need to have my breakfast, I go there. I do my physical training, my pedal training. Maybe I stay at the club for another session in the afternoon. So it's really, really, really nice to have this. When I'm home, I have to manage everything for myself. And when that's the case, it takes so much energy, but like so much energy. And I'm very fortunate because when I go to Budapest, I have a pedal coach and a strength and conditioning coach and also a mental coach to work with. But it's not easy to manage it all together because there's no academies. So it's like I go to this coach and then I go to that coach and then I go to that coach and I need to coordinate it myself. But when it works out, it's really nice. So I think that's one thing that how can I say this? I'm not an easy person to create my own routines. When I try it, and I've tried it a few times, I can do it for a while, but then it doesn't stick. and here comes like there are a lot of very highly performing athletes who I think are absolutely mental, but that helps them to be excellent. I'm not mental. I really love what I do. But it's like sometimes I really need to push myself to go and do my physical training alone, or figure out, okay, today I must do conditioning and I must do some footwork. Okay, I will put together a workout and then I go do it. And by the time I get to it, I don't want to do it anymore. And as bad as it sounds, it's realistic. When like I think we are all made to do things together, and if there is no coach around, if there's not another player around to push you, or there's even, I don't know, somebody from your family or your friends to grab the jacket with you and go outside and run when it's raining, then it's really hard to push alone. Yes, if you push alone, I'm sure it's gonna bring um, some good results and a good feeling afterwards that you did it and that you could do it. But it's hard. It's
I
definitely
agree.
hard.
I
Yeah.
agree.
And in that sense, I'm definitely not a 10 out of 10.
Mhm.
I don't mind the hard work. I love spending a lot of hours on court. I love doing my workouts. I love running. Um, I love when I finish a workout and I can't stand up. That's how tired I am, because then I know I gave it all and I push really hard. Um, and it was never far from me. I think I have some talent, but most of my results come from me putting the work into it.
What is your guilty pleasure in food?
Um, well, I must say I like sweets.
Oh.
Um, you can always keep me happy with a piece of tiramisu. And also sometimes when I finish a tournament, my treat is a cold Coca-Cola. That's my guilty pleasure. I think that's probably the craziest.
Normal or zero?
Normal. Yeah.
You see.
I think I would and I could drink it every single day, 24/7. I love it.
Me too,
And it's
honestly. I feel ashamed, but yes.
it's crazy. I mean, even if I wasn't an athlete, I would have to like really strict myself to not drink anything, for example, during the week. Maybe
Mhm.
on the weekend, I can allow myself, or just like keep some rules to it. Or if I'm on vacation, then I can do it. But yeah, I would say these two are my weak spots.
I see. That's nice. And well, I have only a few questions left, but they're scattered. So I don't know how to connect them. So far we were going quite well, but uh are there any moments in life where you feel like what the hell I am doing? You know those moments, I guess, where
Yeah, I think I would be a robot if I didn't think about these things. I really hope I'm not the only one who has these moments in her life.
oh no. It's
Um, yes. Well, at the moment, what I'm doing is a little bit like crazy. If people would know a little bit how much I struggle to finance myself for these tournaments, they would be like, "You're nuts." It's a huge minus at the moment. I'm not making money.
Mhm.
I'm not doing this for the money. I think if I would do it for the money, for like dreaming about big bucks when I'm, I don't know, top 50, let's say, that's not the right motivation. Um I'm seeking for excellence, which is also I have to keep it in a balance, because what does excellence mean? I think in every sport it means different, because it's based on what it requires out of you. So in paddle, I guess seeking for excellence is make more balls than your opponent and make no mistakes. But I don't want to go with the word mistake. Like,
I
okay, yes,
love
then
the expression you make more balls than your opponent. Like, it's so positive. It never occurred to me before, but I will use it if you let me.
of
uh,
course, yeah. I mean, it's not my line. It's just the reality of paddle. And well, I'm 32 years old. The first time I came to Spain was when I was 29, and my intention was to see professional coaches who have seen a lot of players before and developed a lot of very good players, and teach me and see me and tell me if I'm absolutely crazy and I shouldn't worry about paddle and trying to go pro at the age of 29 in a new sport that basically at that moment I had no idea about. I mean, I played for fun, but it's like I can go play football for fun, and probably a 10-year-old would be better than I am. So, um, what happened to me at that moment is that they said, you're probably not going to be world number one, but you improve fast and you love to compete. So if you want, you can try. And that gave me enough confidence, like, okay, then I'm going to be world number one, which most likely is not going to happen. But if I'm not going for the best, then why did I even start? If I'm not trying to be the best players in the world, which, okay, maybe some people will laugh about it, then but then, like, I don't want to always beat the number 100, which is higher ranked than I am.
Mhm.
And is really good if I win against the number 100. But um, I really think that I can do more. Um, but there are moments, these moments that you were asking about, that are not easy. This hard time that I was experiencing recently was because I set too high expectations for myself in a very short period of time. I mean, I improved a lot in a short period of time, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna win a lot more matches just because I improved. And as I said, it's becoming very, very competitive right now. And a lot of girls are wanting to be within the 100, and then the 80 and 70 and 60 and so on. Um, I I was convinced if I play 6 weeks in a row until the Paris Major or the Paris Major signups, I can for sure get enough points to then find a partner um, who together with we can make the qualifiers. And it didn't happen. So I played the European Championship. And after that, I scheduled 6 tournaments in a row. So basically being 7 weeks on the road. And if I would have broken it down to play 2 or maybe 3 tournaments, take a break, and then play another 2, I definitely would have been able to feel better, compete better, make more points, play more matches. I'm not sure if it would have helped me to make the qualies. We were second alternates. But it definitely would have left me with a better feeling. And I felt that on the fourth tournament that I played, I was already physically completely worn out. So that was my 5th week being on the road. But mentally, I could still put it together, and I was competing very well, even though I wasn't feeling well in my body. And the week after should have never happened, because then I was already physically and mentally drained.
5th week.
And 5th week, yes. Well, 5th tournament, but 6th week in a row.
Mhm.
And that really broke me. And then I was supposed to have one more tournament, which I had to cancel. So it was a big lesson for me that I'm not a robot and I need my rest, and I cannot live week by week hoping that if I play every week, then I will somehow get more and more and more points. It's not how it works. And I have to say that financially, the last 2 weeks really hit me. Like really, really hit me, because then I'm not getting far in the draw. There's no opportunity to win money back.
Mhm.
And those 2 tournaments were very expensive for me mentally and financially. So big lesson, and it wasn't necessarily easy to see then the results of the Paris major and see like who was playing qualies and what happened there. I mean, I know there's gonna be next year. But yeah, moments like this, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, why is this that I set these goals for myself that I couldn't reach, and then I have to tell myself, okay, but this was a short-term goal that I couldn't complete, but I still have a long-term goal, and then I need to be okay with that. And sometimes it takes me a couple days, sometimes it takes me more. I mean, I recently had a lot of changes in my life. I moved to Munich in May, which I'm very happy about, and it's a really nice life there. But I still need to take care of my trainings, which is like, now I have 2 homes. I have Budapest and I have Munich. So now I'm basically leaving 2 homes behind to come to Spain to train here, and this is a choice. And I know I'm doing it because this is what I love to do the most, is to compete on the paddle court. And I'm super grateful that I have this opportunity. I'm super grateful that um, I'm the first person in my country to do it, which is crazy. And sometimes I'm not really thinking about it, or I'm not cherishing it enough. I hope I can be a good role model for a lot of players. And yeah, I mean, I have a very nice support system. I have a very, very, very loving and supporting boyfriend. I have excellent parents who are both super happy for me to do this journey. My siblings are very supportive. So I mean, even my boyfriend's family, and I have a lot of good friends. Now I'm making more friends on tour, and we go together through the same struggles, and it's nice to help each other out every now and then, or just have a nice chat if somebody had this experience before and how they managed to get out of it. And yeah, I mean, today I didn't have the best day of training. And I went to get my shirts printed, and unfortunately there was a mistake that the printer made, and I'm not really sure if I can correct it. And like, these are silly things and are small things, and sometimes they don't reach me at the best time, but at the end of the day it's a very small part of my journey, so I have to think about that. And now I have an amazing opportunity coming up in Düsseldorf. I got the wild card for the main draw of the Premier Padel 2 tournament. And it's my first Premier tournament. I'm super excited that I can start on a main draw. And I hope that we will be able to play a good and competitive match.
With your Dutch partner?
I will be playing with the German number 1 girl, Vicky Quartz.
Ah, uh-huh. Nice.
Yes. So yeah, it's very exciting. And I like, today is not the greatest day of my career. I have sometimes these days, I think all the players do, but I'm happy that it's happening today and not the day when I have to play this. It could be, as of today, the most important match of my life. And I want to bring in the best attitude, and I want to enjoy myself with my partner on court. And I want to see how much damage we can make. Can I mention one thing? Because I think,
yes.
Yeah, it's something that I'm not always good about remembering the people who support me, besides my close people. Yeah, as I mentioned, it's a big minus at the moment, but I'm very fortunate because there are some companies and some sponsors who see the person and the player and the potential in me. So I'm very grateful for the sponsorships that I have, because without them, there's absolutely no way that I would be able to do my journey. So yeah, it's nice to remember of them because they're always there.
Mention their like names as well if you want, if you need to. I mean,
I have one very kind sponsor from Hungary. They're the only Hungarian company who invested in me, and I have a very good relationship with them. They're called Kultsoft. And yeah, it's good people. And it's nice. I like partnerships. For me, it's not about like taking the money away and then just go and use it for whatever. Actually, one thing I know I need to be better with is to understand that the sponsorship money that I receive is not 100% to spend on padel. Like, I have a life and I need to be in balance, because if I'm in balance, then that's how I can perform the best. Then I have my main sponsor, Total Padel. They are an online web shop for multi-brand, and they have been supporting me since the middle of last year, and I have an excellent relationship with them. They're very, very kind to me, and I visited their office recently. And like, when you go to a new place and you just feel like, oh my God, I want to belong here. Now that's how I felt with them. And they're just really good people. They are located in Germany.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So I have them. I'm just really thinking, I hope I will not miss anybody. That's definitely not my intention. My main apparel and racket and bag and shoes sponsor is Knox. It's a sponsorship that I have since the beginning of this year. And I'm very happy with the quality of the products, and with in general, I'm happy to have a brand like this behind my back. I have Padel City. They're a German padel company, market leaders in Germany. I play Bundesliga for them, and they are the reason why I was able to get the wild card for the Premier, because they are the promoters of the tournament. So I'm very grateful for all the opportunities that they're giving me. And also, it's a nice company. So I'm super grateful to have them as my partners. One of the sponsors I have from last year, I hope to continue working with them, although it's we have a little bit of language barrier, but they're very kind people as well. They're called Happy Paddle. They're an online reservation system for paddle, and they're also integrating some online sales and booking system and that kind of stuff. They're an Italian brand. I have an Italian team called Spazio Newton. They're located in Cagliari, Sardinia. I played Serie C club championship with them, and it's also a very, very nice group of people.
Mhm.
And then I have another new Italian sponsor, and they are working with renting homes, also located in Cagliari. So my manager is Italian. We share a very nice relationship. And I have also a French guy who is located in Spain, helping me sometimes with logistics, sometimes to go there and train. He just started a paddle academy himself. So I think I have a lot of very
Support.
good people and support around me. Yes.
Nice. It's good to hear
Yes.
that you're not alone. I mean, this is also an extra energy that you spend to find them, to maintain good relations with them. But at the same time, yeah, they're making things easier for you as well. So it's good to hear.
I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful. I mean, I mean, I cannot look at other players who may have more, because I think there's a lot of players who have more
Mhm.
for any reason. Um, but I don't know that there are a lot of players who have way less. And I think I'm in a very fortunate situation that I have some which I can be very happy about, and it really helps me a lot. And I mean, the relationships and the partnerships that I make on this journey, they are really priceless. So yeah, I try to stay grateful and keep surrounding myself with good people and good energy.
That's great. You should keep that good smile, positive.
Thank you.
Definitely. Definitely.
Thank you.
Well, so nice to meet you, Dora. And
And you.
hopefully, if you come to Budapest at some point, we can also meet in person.
I'm sure we can even play paddle. We will make it work.
Really? I'd love that.